It means I can sound even louder.
Oh well. Anyway, ban phase. We
Yes.
are starting things off right here. Cyclops with the first one, as they will be starting out on the defense. And let's see what choice they will go with.
Absolutely. The one thing I'm really excited about for Cyclops is although the record, it doesn't put them in the best light, right? But these guys, in every single loss they have had, 7-5, 8-6, something to that effect. It has always been close. And yes, they lost to Guts on this exact map 8-6 previously. So if you're a safe player, a safe better, dare we say, you'll be looking at this one and saying, you know what, Guts are the ones to take it again. But you just can't write Cyclops off, given they were the former Japanese Pro League champions. Nomad the first ban away. Monty, no big surprise, a 38% ban rate coming into this competition across APAC. Teams just don't seem too comfortable dealing with the Monty hat.
Definitely not, and you know, it's often the teams that played him himself as well. They get it removed. I've no clue what they're saying or what they're talking about, but it's most likely something about the Monty Ben.
It's something in Japanese and I can't read it. One day, maybe.
One day.
Valkyrie has been the most banned defender in the region as well.
Yes.
No surprise. I think because a lot of teams like to play aggressive, and it's why we're seeing quite a high attacker win rate across the region.
The impact in the last two maps, the Oregon and Cafe, was left open. It's a lot of, well,
it's a unique one in that case, and the mute ban. I love these little niche bans that get pulled out here. It's always based on target banning. It means there is more information opening up here for the attackers. Aren't going to find yourself starved for information, so those roamers probably going to have a bit of a rougher time, unless you're seeing locking themselves away quite safely with something like the Mozzie.
All right.
All right.
All right.
That's the magic word, isn't it?
The magic word. Whenever we're, you know, you're done with segment 1, and then we go over to segment 2, which is the actual round. You say, all right, it's a bit of a tip. Aviator Games, Des. Aviator Games to start things off. Now,
it's always the starting place.
The Clash being brought, and I see a Jaeger. Now, I always hope that we see the Clash being played in 90 on that one particular angle where it cannot be shot from the 90 window. Yeah,
it's more there to try and help you extend the hold a little bit further, right? You're not really playing behind a typical shield, although they do have 2 of those on side. It's the fact that it's mobile, it's the fact that it's free information, it makes perfect sense. I do expect to see Anderson either looking to hold 90 and just say, you will not get control of this corner, you will not be allowed, otherwise you'll find him playing near the top side of landing. Some players even opt to play him inside of Aviator door and looking towards Study, just so they can't push him. But either way, it's all about the time-wasting affair here, and Guts need to be the ones that are mindful of the fact that Cyclops here are trying to say, we want you to rush in the dying seconds of a round, we want you to make mistakes, and that's where we'll find ourselves a few rounds in this defensive half. Hey, it's Simon.
It's Simon. It's our old friend.
Our old buddy, our old pal. He's in LATAM these days.
Doing a LATAM with Ace and Jackie.
He is.
Which other British caster will be jumping up every now and then?
We'll see him one day, I'm sure.
We will. One day. I will speak South Afrikaans with you, my friend. Anyway, we do have the setup done. We see a little bit of an opening right there towards the vault door in the Aviator Games room. I think I was just checking. That's not a mirror window, right? No, that's not. They just opened that on purpose, and that will be to actively contest onto. That's an interesting gridlock, actually.
It's the fear it creates, right, in that mind. And it is interesting. I know they're trying to expect some run out here to when you're playing on this balcony, as you can see. But it's just a case of saying no one is going to be running out here and trying to give us any grief on the balcony. That much is for certain. A big focus up towards the north side, as you would probably expect initially. It's Light who's looking to hold this one down by the looks of it, make sure no one is hanging around. But for Guts, there is no fear. Cyclops, one-eyed, one sight is all they have in mind in this case. No one holding up towards the north. This is where pace is going to weigh into things. How fast can Guts get themselves near the site, and how much time can Cyclops waste back onto the other side?
That is the important part here. There's no roamers on that northern side, I must say. And that means they need to get a hand on this quickly. They need to move through, they need to take that control, and they need to be moving, well, swift and silent. Need to get close as quickly as possible, deal with this class preferably, well, rather sooner than later, as Crazy Papillon is receiving a bit of a pepper from the SMG-11.
Nothing to bring him down initially. You see they've got made sure that all these flanks are covered off right as well. They got those tracks down inside of Astronomy, leading in towards Trophy and Statuary, and just saying no one can come behind us. So it's more a case of trying to make sure your backside's covered before you're looking to go for a push anywhere else. But I'm always keeping an eye on that clock. It's always been the thing in APAC that when it comes down to the final few seconds execute, he who shoots best tends to win, and that's not an ideal spot to be in for Guts.
Reinforced it right after, so they only put it up for some early pressure. Reinforced it right after. Electroclaw now coming through from Aviator. He's going to be making sure that that wall remains closed. And Ura now will be in a hard position as he needs to put pressure down from Study into the actual side. But if he's not going to be able to do that, it is going to be only this one choke point they need to push through. And the Clash will be there to try and slow them down, potentially deal some damage as well. The last 35 seconds, you see that they want to enter. Smoke canisters being used to counter things off. None left, though, on Gatorada. And that means that they will have 30 seconds exact to try and go for that execute.
Ura is trying to do what he can down here. Doesn't know someone's just pushing towards Study. It's Black Ray playing at the top of the stairs, looking to pincer onto him when it comes through, or just spray the X-Kairos off the wall. It was so pivotal that they got that open so they could be able to push them back inside the vault and force them in towards the other side. But here comes the execute. Smoke grenade down, light in spot. Plant is being hit. Anderson hanging near the door, though. They're pushing around the side, but no, these fights go the way of Guts here. We run down to nothing. It's a triple kill for Black Ray, the man himself, the hero through Study. Cyclops, first round going their way. Very decisively. Guts, a bit one-dimensional there, happened. That was my biggest worry.
Definitely. There's multiple ways to deal with that clash, and you know, you saw how impactful that clash was. It basically stopped the plant, and not the plant itself, but like the actual execute to get onto the side, stalled it for at least a minute, if not more. And then when they finally went in, they all got slowed as well, making it easier for the defenders to actually reply to him. Just a simple Ash charge from below, followed up, or a double impact from Zofia from below would have been enough to get that kill in. But that is not the case, and that means Cyclops will be taking round number 1. Now the Echo will be brought out. The Clash gets 6 picked away.
It was Black Ray there on the flank more than anything else. We mentioned dealing with the X-Kairos. Yep. And coming in behind, no one expecting Study to be a thing, because Ura initially was holding down that angle. But sadly, Black Ray more of a destruction ray at that case and just tears through the whole lineup. This means Trophy and Statuary is where we go to next. Not going to see a Clash being returned this time, but we are going to see a C4 coming out with the Pulse and coming out of the Bandit. And this isn't uncommon here in APAC. We do see a lot of these C4-based plays. A good number of teams love playing with Pulse. 18% ban rate coming into this competition goes to show that he is perhaps more favoured by this region over many others. The one thing I always look towards in seeing an IQ, towards seeing an Echo, is there an IQ on the other side? Back in the first series today, we called out a few times and said, where's the IQ? Not once did we see it.
Not a single time, indeed.
Oh yeah, because who needs to deal with invisible drones, right? Who needs to worry about being blasted in the final few seconds and losing a round over one tiny little gadget?
Who needs that? Just click the heads, right? Just like
one droney boy attached to the ceiling. Good luck.
All right. Well, 3 minutes, meaning the action phase has yet again started. Cyclops will be having a bit of an extension into Aviator Games as they are now in Trophy Statuary. We'll get some of the attention of Guts Gaming themselves as well.
Dun dun.
That is a dangerous one. Right here is going to be able to get a bit of a tag down into JJ. Still playing with the suppressor, mind you, on Gatorada on that Pulse. It's going to be at least scaring them off just a little bit.
I remember the whole suppressor thing, like, completely blew our minds when we first saw it. Like, what? Why is everyone playing suppressor? And some coaches were like, visual bug. And we're like, it's not, though. They're still running them. It's still a thing.
It fits every single day on the same players. It's not a visual bug to come through. It's a bit of a challenge coming through there, but not any shot being hit as of yet. JJ Wolf, like, worrying about 2 different angles.
Jiggle beats.
Able to get at least one of the yokais out. I believe that was... And Keg still holding on. C4 coming in. Light will be losing his life. That's the Nomad gone. Gatorada trying to go even more aggressive, but he will be taken down from the main stairs. JJ able to pick up that kill with that G8A1. Puts a drone into the flank hold position right now just to make sure no one else will come down. And with 1 minute 40 left, they seem to have control of Aviator Games as the defenders fell off.
It's kind of this initial explosion of activity, and then silence, stillness, as the attackers finally get themselves set up on the south side of the map. But what I will give to Cyclops here is they have burnt a lot of time. Only now we're really starting to see the side of Guts Gaming get drones up towards the north and down these red stairs. They've been very happy sat there saying, you know what, one-on-one, 90 seconds wasted, we'll take that. And probably most importantly, Light is dead. So those smokes that they relied on in the last round are not going to be available for Guts. That might make this execute so much more difficult to pull off.
Definitely make it more difficult to pull off, as you just said. Lily, the man who we talked about, he needs to step up for his team to make sure Guts is going to have a better chance of survival. 50 seconds left. They're setting themselves up slowly for an execute. As drones are coming in, they're trying to get the information out. All around landing right here. Hoping to find an opening, but they're not sure as of where it is yet. stun's being tossed in, but that's more of a proximity check just to make sure no one is in the actual area. Look at Suzu still below, might have a C4 available to him, could be playing a crucial role into this attack and to actually stop it.
They know what the play is. They know that Crazy's trying to go for the plant here as well. So with Suzu being downstairs, all it's going to take is a call that, yes, he is inside the site. That trigger is pulled, and the round is over for Guts Gaming. 15 seconds is all they've got. They don't have control of Master Wall. They have nothing on their side right now. They've got to be so mindful of the fact these drones are going to tell them everything. The Echo drone was not deployed, but there it is. The C4 that we call comes out. There's only 3 seconds left. Lilia's got to stick this one, but I don't see how it's going to happen in a 3 versus 3. I say that a kill comes in for JJ, 3 versus 2, but can they find the planter? Storms around and finds one. Yes, he does, but it's down and deployed. Not that it matters because iGator's in a spot to be able to get this one off. They've just got to make sure that Anaton can hold up against JJ right now. He's going to try and creep his way through. Can they manage to find this tag? He just goes for the spray and finds the head. It's all on JJ. It's a triple kill in 1 round, but can they find the opposition in time? Pistol's out, knows where he is, needs to repeat round again. He's coming in close himself. 20 seconds on the clock. He's got about 10 seconds to win this 1 versus 1. Goes in, but JJ, what a round coming out of him. 4 kills, and round number 2 goes the way of Guts.
Perfectly played out right there. They had the cover, they had the flank watch. Were able to get that plan down, make sure no one was going to be able to peek there. Yes, of course, they managed to almost bring it back, turn it into a 1-on-2 situation. And if they would have stuck the plan from the start, they would have had it. But they did not know, of course. There was not enough information to actually give that out. And because of that, it's now 1-1. Guts able to secure that round, even though it looked lost.
That was just JJ snatching victory from the jaws of defeat, because we mentioned you could see the setup, you could see CYCLOPS had everything planned out perfectly. In a position where a C4 was waiting downstairs and they said, just tell me when he walks in the room, man. I'll pull the trigger and game's done. Wasn't quite that simple. All down to JJ. Getting that blood flowing through his veins and able to go and pick up 4 kills for his team. Beautiful stuff. That does put us at 1-on-1, and on Villa, admittedly, on the attacking side, any round you can get is a good round. Downstairs we head, so CYCLOPS opting not to repeat Trophy and Statuary, going for the 3-site rotation. This is where it gets a bit dicey. The off-site is where some teams really start to fall apart on the defense, and I'm keen to see if we can see CYCLOPS take this one.
However, indeed, if CYCLOPS are going to be able to take this one, it might be proving that last round was just a bit of a slip-up. See a very heavy hold coming down towards a certain side into that living room. Reinforced and electrified walls into this.
They like this bandit.
They do like the bandit, that's for sure.
They like the C4s. They've got 4 of them. Hap.
That is gonna be, for sure, Anaton playing on side, guiding his fellow Padawans into getting these C4s to make sure that GG is not going to be able to go for the top floor control.
A lot of the focus comes in here on keeping Anaton alive, I think, on the pulse. And he was the player who, back in the Japanese Pro League, was the big standout player for this team, topping the charts in almost every single stat. And then it came to APAC North, and he has been a little bit quiet. And I think that's partly why we've seen CYCLOPS fall from grace in a way. Yes, they're still here in the top 6. Yes, they're still a successful team. But where they have lagged behind a couple of times, I think comes down to not seeing the same level that we saw coming out of the Japanese Pro League, but it's to be expected. You've taken all these teams, thrown them in a bowl and said, let's see what comes out the other side. And so far, CYCLOPS have been the ones who have been on the kind of downturn, or on the down end of that, I should say.
Definitely so. Coming in 6th. Right here, we'll be able to spot at least one, indeed. Play the music.
The Jaws music.
Surely soon, a C4 will follow, but Guts is staying outside for just a little while longer, as I believe one of the members of CYCLOPS just jumped down from that split.
It's the timing I'm always watching out for, because that's really bitten Guts a couple of times. And in fact, quite a few teams in APAC, when it comes down to, as I mentioned earlier on, those late round executes, not always what they're meant to be or what they intended them to be. So keep an eye on how long it takes them to get the full top 4 control without being blown up by those C4s. If a couple of kills swing through onto the side of CYCLOPS, this round can be over before it's even started. We are 1 out of 4 C4s down. That one was on towards the Astro window. No one is dead.
Crazy Papillon knew what was going to happen there. Probably hurt the Velcro rip-off. Went as far away as he possibly could and make sure that that C4 was not going to be able to find anybody. And it looks like right now we'll be jumping down through that hatch in that master bedroom. There's a lot of people around the area. Anaton has given away so much information to the rest of his team as well. They know they do not have to worry about any horizontal take as of yet, as they're all still upstairs. And Light, he will continue to open stuff up right here, using that super shorty on the gridlock, making sure that they have all the vertical angles they need to go in for that plant. Reaching round coming in as well. They're literally focusing on opening everything up as the C4 gets ripped. I'm not totally sure where, but I do hear it. And it's Guts Gaming now, 40 seconds, trying to find out whether they can go or not, because
rush drop.
these C4s, they need to go for that drop indeed. There is nothing else they can do at this
They want the
time.
wall. They want the electrified wall, but they haven't got rid of the gadgets.
Oh!
Yeah, and he gets C4'd out as he's trying to find the gadgets. That wall is staying firmly closed, my friends, which means the doorway is going to be the focus. They nearly managed to pick up the smoke through that, but not enough damage to bring down Suzu. So they're in a spot now where it's going to be all or nothing to try and push in. You're still facing up against another smoke. It's a second C4 kill. I said to you, if they find 2 C4 kills, this round is done. Yura is in, trying to go for a plant, but they knew this was a Hail Mary. They knew there was no way they'd be able to pull this one back. It's a 1 versus 4, no diffuser in hand. Somehow, I don't think JJ can repeat past successes. He gets picked up by the Cat Can trap, and that is a very comfortable round coming out for Cyclops.
It's a very comfortable round, and this is what you said. This can break the defense. If they fall apart on this offside, it's not looking good for them. This looked nothing like falling apart.
No, that was the
opposite.
Probably strongest defense. It's probably the strongest defense I think I've seen so far today. They just knew what was going on, and you mentioned yourself, the Pulse was just feeding all the information. Yeah. And when the attackers are focused very purely on it, getting in towards Master, dropping through the hatch, getting that electrified wall open, it becomes a very different story. And if the electrification wasn't there, if the Kai, well, the Bandit in the last round, but the Kai coming through now was not there, that could have been a very different story, because that wall would have been much easier to get opened up and wouldn't have had to worry faffing around inside of the connector towards bathroom trying to get the Bandit batteries removed. We go back to Aviator and Gains, rotating back to where we started. Last time round, it was Cyclops who came out on top on this one. Remember that crazy execute coming through, built around the Clash, for example. Mirror is going to make an appearance, so although last round we saw the shotgun holes in the wall, this time round, it is a real mirror, I assure you of that, Hap.
Well, we might also see the other opportunity for the take right here from Guts, because when they came from the northern side, they ran into that Clash, which wasn't really something they were prepared to deal with. So we might see a more heavy take on the study right now.
You know what the focus was then?
You have the mirror.
They were just like, where do people like to plant? Oh, right, they like to plant behind Vault Door. How do we stop them doing that?
I'll put a Clash inside.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, you can open it up from below and play around C4s. You can maybe hold an awkward angle and play with the smoke. I don't know. Oh, no, let's just go and stick a shield there. That's the one. And you know what? Sulf VG, I agree with you. I said Cyclops 2-1 as well. That's where I think this game's going. I mean, it's currently 2-1. We didn't say if it was the whole series score or the map score. So at least I'm right at a given point in time here.
Yeah, you're not on the 0% totally.
No.
I like how I was bullied with the 0% doing like everything else, and now I'm, you know, sitting here.
Basically, mate, if you want to get 100%, just don't listen to me. Just disagree with me always.
Yeah, that's why I was worried that you have Cyclops as well.
I like the underdogs. I'm a big fan.
I mean, that's the thing. I don't see Cyclops as the underdogs because they have more experience in important tournaments.
They do.
I think that experience is going to be pulling them through in a best of 3. That's why I chose them.
The one big thing about both of these teams that we didn't touch on too much earlier on is that their games in the second phase have been against weaker opposition. Neither team beat a team that is here at this competition. And that's a worry, I guess, in showing that you can't deliver against the big teams when it really matters. Here is where it really has to matter, because if they win today, they go against Cloud9 tomorrow, who are the best attacking team in the competition. 66% win rate on attack? That is unheard of.
And even when Cloud9 like seems to be struggling with the time management, they just drop in with 15 seconds and get 5 kills within 5. So it doesn't seem to matter for them.
Emmy Taylor's just there like, this game you guys call Siege, it's not hard. What are you talking about?
It's not hard at all. And, you know, the winner of this one will eventually have to worry about those two, Shao and Envy Taylor, to go up against. And look at Aviator. He's all the way downstairs in the basement. Not really. He's like in between the basement and the first floor. Just waiting to ascend the stairs.
That is interesting, because there's such a big focus towards study and the study stairs now.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah, it's... I imagine it's more of the late round roam when he gets the call that now is the time to come and join us. You'll find him just pushing his way up red stairs, for example, because he could be the massive spoiler here. And you can even see this Black Ray holding downstairs trying to call. Oh, they missed him on the drone. If that turns around, though, he's in trouble. Do they expect someone to follow? I think that's what he's waiting for here, or he could have pushed upstairs and gone really aggressive there. Still thinks that drone is going to come back. He would be wrong.
He's just waiting. He's just trying to get the information out. Grenade will be tossed in just to make sure that no electrification would be coming through, so the electric class not going to be effective. And as I said, they will be focusing on both Study and the 90 hallway right now, and that means that these openings are going to be key. Gatorada, you need to walk to your left if he gets one. This might
Get the shotgun out, bro.
Yes, indeed, get the shotgun out of this. No, he does not. Peeks with the SMG, gets one. It's all up to Yura now. He's all alone in Study, will be taken out, and it's Black Rate with the last kill. A flawless round from Cyclops, and they're putting themselves up to 3. As he took down that claim with a drone, not spotting him out, finishing it off, but it didn't really matter at that moment in time anymore anyway.
This is why you play a stealthy game, Guts, because you know when it comes down to fisticuffs and actually being all about the brawn, Cyclops the ones who walk away with the kills. Absolute slaughter in the dying seconds there. Beautiful stuff, and Cyclops put themselves at 3-1. We go back to Trophy and Statuary, and this was the last round, if you recall, where we saw the attackers win, where Guts walked away victorious despite Cyclops playing it to near perfection. They had the C4 on the right time, the clock was about to hit 0. Somehow they managed to stick the diffuser and get it off, and part of it, dare I say, the fact that Echo Drone was just left limp and not really attached to a ceiling, able to blast anyone or being invisible, came back to bite them big time.
It was visible as well. That's the big thing. Like, he could see it, he shot it, he went for the plant. Yes, he got C4'd right after, but he took down a yokai, and I think that was more important.
You can hear it. It's just like zzz.
Yeah, you hear it.
You're like, right, okay, we know how this goes unless we deal with that. So
is that like that annoying fly when you're laying in bed and you're like, where is it?
Yeah.
You know, you're like,
except this one blasts you with a sonic, like,
yes,
well, blast.
And it tosses your balance off guard. But, it's a bit of a difference. But same principle nonetheless. 20 seconds in the prep phase. Cyclops definitely putting up a good score right here, but something we do have to mention every single time on fill-up, if you get 2 or 3 rounds as the attack, you are in good water. So if Guts managed to pick up one more, they should not be too worried going over to the second half.
I'd say it wouldn't be too bad. I'm worried more about how the game has played out so far, and that Cyclops have been dominant in every single round. Now, given it was their map pick, they're in a spot where they're coming into this. Sorry, not their map pick, it was Guts'. They're in a spot where they're looking very dominant. We saw how the last series played out between these guys, where it was a scrap to the bitter end. It went to overtime. We haven't seen overtime yet today. Will we see it again now?
It's APAC. Haven't we seen it yet?
APAC and overtime?
Strange. I mean, I'm used to casting 45 rounds a day, so I wasn't expecting any less here as JJ trying to fight Gatorada as he was on a scanner. He's not going to be able to land a single bullet.
He's coming back for extra punishment here. He wants a second dish. He wants dessert. Not sure on the game plan there because if the IQ's lurking around, they're going to pick you up. And given how many times Guts have walked into C4s, they are more than aware of the issue being presented to them. So JJ, I would say his job is to make sure Gatto is under control.
He's checking his sensor now. It is going up.
I love how they've abandoned South as well. They said, you know what? We know there's a pulse lurking.
There's 1 or 2 guys at least there. Let's focus on master bedroom.
Because they rotated here at the end of the last round, but just left it a little bit late, and they were forced then to try and push the diffuser up through the top of landing and into sight. So I like here earlier on, they've kind of acknowledged defeat and said, you know what, forget about it. Let's go and push a different angle. We did touch on it earlier on in the last series, by the way. Thatcher isn't banned here. We're seeing electronics round after round after round. Why not being brought along?
Definitely. Might not. Yes. Like, I'm just thinking about now how much would they actually would like to go through the breaches, but they breach every single time. And I mean, to be honest, they do deal with the electronics quite effectively, so it's not necessary, but it does make life a lot easier as Lily is ready on the Astro stairs to go up. But look at Gatorada. Oh, what? Crazy Papillon, he had no information, just stumbled upon him by pure coincidence.
Oh,
and
man.
Lily and Light are now going to try to challenge him, and Aegator will pick him up, and suddenly Guts Gaming are going to be picked up by just a crazy coincidence to come through, and they will fall apart all due to that. As Blackray gets Lily, he will get downed, but it's a 2-on-4 effective situation. Guts Gaming will definitely not be looking good right here as Yura drops down just to try and deal with Gatorada with a minute left.
How much damage Gatto has done in this round is unbelievable. Finding himself the kill on the downstairs has drawn more than enough attention. I believe he's still got a C4. Can we look at that medics really quickly? If Gatto has still got a C4 in his back pocket? I'm guessing yes. There he does. They've got 2 on side and still got a smoke canister. They've got so much to play with here as we enter the final stage of this round. 35 seconds to go, Hap. Guts are up against it.
Indeed, Yura all the way on the other side will be pushing towards landing as JJ is all alone here in Astronomy. Needs to find 1 or 2 kills. He's going to get tanked up from the left, but that means the peak will come in from the right. Will be able to pick up Aegator to start things off, but he's not going to be able to find the second one as of yet. He's all alone right now. 1v3. They know exactly where he is due to the pulse sensor. The blue fires come in, and Cyclops will win that round as well. Suzu with the last kill. Cyclops up 4-1. And there's only 1 round left to go for them onto their defense before they go over to the attack to try this themselves.
CYCLOPS are looking terrifying, man. But like you say, and I always say it myself, there are 2 halves to a game of Siege. You can see completely different teams step into round number 7 than the ones that departed in round number 6. It's like they step into a time chamber and come out a completely transformed team sometimes. And it's about that carrying of momentum between sides that is really going to define how this series is going to play out.
2 members in Guts Gaming have kills right now. JJ on 7, Lily on 2. The rest completely being shut down. 1 assist each. Kag is in control.
I'll tell you what, JJ, I'll tell you what you do, mate. You get your mobile phone out, you get on WhatsApp, you go into the team group chat, you press call and go, guys, by the way, there's a game going on right now. Can you join?
Can you please join the server, because you're not really helping out that much now.
It's been rough, but expected. They have been very fairly matched by the side of CYCLOPS. Downstairs we head. We'll recall again what happened at the last round. 4 C4s, check. Members playing downstairs, check.
Napkin, check.
Pulse, check.
So check.
They've got all the tools they need here to have a repeat of the last round, and it's all going to come down to what Guts do. I like as the big change we've immediately seen is the Thatcher being brought along by Light, because they really struggled with getting the double wall open to get themselves inside of the A site and try and go for the plant. So set up all you like around Master Wall, ladies and gents. It doesn't matter if you're being C4'd from below, so I'm hoping that with the Thatcher on side, we can see them get that second elusive attacking round on Villa.
They'll have to go for that for the wall. We just
oh no, C4 spawn.
C4 spawn.
No.
No one is there anyway. But it's a beautiful toss. That, I got to say that. But the Thatcher is going to be able to speed things up with at least 30 seconds to maybe a minute. Also taking down some of the EDDs, the entry denial devices that Capcom brings, and that might be able to save them just a little bit. Now that's unfortunate they didn't hear this.
Did last round, remember? Final kill was from the EDD.
Last one was from the EDD, so might not be able to happen now if the EMPs will be landing right.
See if it comes out again. Seems to be the focus is on the downstairs, mind you, for now. However, maybe not strictly in the right place. So a bit of a transform compared to what we saw in the last round. You actually see for a lot of the attackers, they are spread here. You've got 2 or 3 out towards the west, a couple out towards the east, and it kind of screams, we want to split. We don't want to get picked off by playing from above again. So CYCLOPS have successfully got into their minds here, and as we would always say, are now living rent-free, saying be fearful of those C4s from below, which means a more lateral attack needs to take place. We've seen teams make these work, but you've got to be so careful still of the fact there are C4s on side. They'll throw them at doorways as you run in. You might just find yourself getting your head blown off before you can even see a bomb.
They might toss them over the walls as well as Crazy Papillon right here trying to challenge out on Black Grey. I believe that is who is playing in the living room, but now will fall back, drop through the hatch, go back up onto the red stairs right now. And they have no clue. There's no drone on side. And I mean, look at how many drones they have left. There is so many drones in this 90-second mark. They should be droning more actively.
They're trying.
Gadarada comes in from the back, yet again able to pick up a kill. A drone just followed him into the library there. Just a quick 180. You would have seen he's up on those stairs. That will be missed, and you're losing out on your attention now. And that is going to be making things exponentially harder now to open things up with 70 seconds left to go. Hello,
the thing is, I can count, Matt's hard. They most definitely saw the diffuser go down there as well, so they should know in this situation where the attack is coming from. And you can see Gado, he's saying, you know what, you guys have been up on top floor. I'm going to move in. I'm the new tenant here in this location, and you will not be allowed to have it. And so far, they are running amok across the top side of the map, just taking every which staircase they can to run down and try and pick up the occasional kill or two. And Guts are just kind of, it's almost like being stung by an invisible enemy here. They're just not sure where they're going to strike from next. They're in a spot where they can push in from the red hallway. But the problem is you're pushing in through a single doorway, and you're in a spot where someone no doubt is holding nice and close. It's Suzuki, probably with a shotgun in hand on the smoke too, just waiting, daring them to even sniff at the site.
Indeed, using Zexkairos now to open up into Memoriam, able to maybe create an angle that could be useful for any of the attackers, but he's the only one there. Lily will now join him, and they need to push in, but
come on, boys.
Keep in mind, there is going to be that shield still on site, that the smoke of Suzu's playing behind. Gadarada still up top, they spotted ahead, but they're not going to be able to find the kill as of yet. Lily is going to be trying to push in right here. He needs to move first. C4 will be shot down, and that means no kill will be found, but it's going to be the flank now. JJ needs to move in. They have some control. Is it going to be enough, though? It might not be the case, as Gadarada will be coming in for the last kill. It's Gator, however, to do it with the DCSG 12th, and it's going to be CYCLOPS to get that kill, get the round, and put themselves up to 5-1.
Just look at how that final kill came about. 3 directions the final attacker was being pushed from, and that was Gator coming down the astronomy stairs. It was Gado's upstairs earlier on. It seems anything that Guts aren't focused on taking, can't just say, we're taking the lot.
We'll take ourselves.
Yeah, if you're not going to bother, then we will. And you mentioned how many drones they had left alive, but these flanks weren't really accounted for. That initial flank coming out of Gatto and finding out where the diffuser was just gave CAG all the information they needed. And the story stays true. Look, 10 kills across 6 rounds. That's not how you win a map, guys.
It's definitely not how you win a map. Gotta mention, though, no touch are being brought either from CYCLOPS right now, but they do have the IQ.
Let's see how fast they learn. That's the big question. When you realize you're playing up against electrification, how many rounds does it take you to adapt? Because a lot of teams very fairly will say, you know what, we can get above, we can get below, we can blow these things out safely.
Depends on whether or not Guts Gaming is playing below. If they do not go below, if they all stay up top, it's going to be a Gator, goes downstairs, just shoots them out, 4 bullets, all you need. All the battery is gone, you can open up and you can attack the site. So actually, it might electrify this wall right here.
Interesting. Yeah, so a big hold up towards the north, potentially coming in here. Okay, I like it. It's a very committed extended hold here where you're putting in not just reinforcements, but also playing, like you say, behind the mirror window. The reason why they're only electrifying that one wall is to make sure the mirror window can't be abandoned off or destroyed in any other way. Outside of getting downstairs and destroying it from below, problem there is you're then burning things like the breaching rounds coming out of the ash. But the nice thing I think that CYCLOPS have got on side here is that buck. And since his change where he lost his frag grenades, a lot of people have kind of written him off and said Sledge is the better choice. In cases like this where you've got a lot of vertical or upward soft destruction to do, he is still fantastic for it.
That is still the case, and that was always basically the argument, right? Like, you had Buck and Sledge, both had grenades, both did self-destructing, but Buck was able to do it upwards, and that is something Sledge wasn't able to do, so in case he was always superior. However, now, due to losing his frag grenades, he made him more of a situational operator, and thus we will see him here.
A big focus on splitting around the map once more. This time around, it's CYCLOPS doing that, and we saw in the last round how the focus moved over towards being out towards the west for the side of Guts. They put all their eggs in one basket, and sadly that basket had a hole in the bottom, and all those eggs dropped through and cracked. But for CYCLOPS initially, the basket's holding true. Might show a bit of strain as the round progresses. 60 seconds in, no one's gone down or really taken a challenge anywhere just yet. But at some point, there needs to be some kind of unification in where they're trying to push from. Looks like the main focus for iGator is getting below and dealing with that mirror window.
Well, they already left it, so if they just get a drone in there, they should not have to worry about it. There's quite some drones on site. You see how many are active right there? There's a lot of flank drones as well on the CYCLOPS that I managed to spot down before. And as right now, they're going to be dealing with the bandit batteries. You see the ash below, just waiting, but they might just use the IQ to take it out. I'm not totally sure. No, they're just going to go for the safe approach. Get it with the ash charge. Instantly, X-Kairos following up. It's going to be a concussion to come through double as well to make sure that no trick could occur. And that means the wall will be opened up, creating an angle, making sure no one can play behind the bar anymore.
It's one of the most common angles as well, because you get a nice angle when you lay down as the attackers to see all the way through into game stream. Just like this here, you are basically not able to play inside there at all. So it's a nice angle to have open here. It puts some pressure on the defenders. Now the question comes for CYCLOPS is where do they want to put their focus? They've got 60 seconds to go, and they've got to choose which side of the site they want to push in here. Do they try and take their way down the 90 hallway, or do they put all the focus in towards Aviator and try and go for a plant there instead?
The issue here is they have neither of the two key positions. They do not have main stairs. They do not have landing control. And as JJ peeks in, we'll get the down onto Aviator, swapping over to the shotgun, but not able to get the kill secured yet. Smoke canister will be used to do so, as Zero will be able to get up Anaton. So it looks like Guts Gaming might be in the driver's seat for this one, especially with Europe picking up yet another one. It's all up to Black right now. It's the Buck, usually the one-man army, but is he going to be able to find the kills? Finds one to start things off, knows another one is descending on these main stairs. But with 16 seconds left, there's almost no time left, and Guts Gaming should have this one in the back.
CYCLOPS have basically got out a big red flag there and waved it in front of the bull of Guts and been like, you're going to bite? You're going to bite? And at the time that they felt they can really go in there and go for the kill, Guts have come back aggressive, and Black Ray is going to let this one time out. They did the right things, but not with enough conviction or not with enough, dare I say, aggression coming into it as well. And Guts will find that first defensive round quite convincingly, just like we always say, 2 halves to a game of Siege.
Indeed, 2 halves, and we know that, well, normally it's actually the attack that is favoured in APAC. This time, not so much. Trophy statuary. No,
some teams.
Dining kitchen week.
Unless your name is Fav, apparently. No, it's the other way around. They're just not good defensively. They're very good in attack, though.
I was going to say, their attack was good.
There must be a team that is better at defending than attacking here.
I think it's Giants. They're
only because they're so damn good at defending, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, they always get these clutches in. But anyway, 2-5 currently. We're seeing some kills being spread out across Guts Gaming compared to what we've seen before. It's definitely a good start. Let's see if they can keep that up, though, as Finka will be 6-picked out into the buck. So they're choosing to trade out 2 grenades for soft destruction.
Interesting. I mean, in a spot now where they've got to deal with 3 C4s coming out. So not quite the 4 that we saw coming out of CYCLOPS on their defensive side, but there are still options to play with on the side of Guts. They've wanted to bring the Jaeger along here, and that seems to be the key focus, is can we catch those grenades burn through that utility? You look over at the side of CYCLOPS, though, and there is a lot of it. I mentioned before about the Buck and how much work he can do in opening up floors. You got to consider the fact as well he still has 3 flashes on side. Across the whole team, there are 9. Doesn't matter whether you bring the Jaeger and the Wamai, you're still going to find yourself having to deal with all of those grenades singing in towards your team.
Which grenades?
Putting a focus on the upstairs, actually.
It's flashbangs.
Okay.
Anyway, indeed, focus upstairs. Will we see 2 or 3 people playing up there? Maybe even 4. If it's 4, we're just going to see a cut straight to site.
I want to see a rush. I just want to see a rush from Pantry. Let's do it.
I mean, Crazy Papillon is there on that pill, so he's going to be able to call it if a rush is going to be coming through. And CYCLOPS doesn't seem to be aware, considering the place where they spawned. And that means they will be taking it slow.
Typical Ash players dropping the diffuser and being like, I don't want it. It's not mine.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
It's not my job.
Bit of an estafette right here. The Hibana picks it up, drops it down to Gator.
It's like passing a baton in a relay.
Hey.
Now it's Gator with it on side.
That's it. Gator. Will he hand it over to Black Ray, though? Just to
complete the full relay. Why not? Oh, Yura. Hello. One of the big entry players of this team. Plus 12 in the regular split. Matched by Lily being on minus 12, mind you, but still showing his worth once again here with an opening kill. And that's onto Gatto, so that's quite a bit of soft destruction removed from the field as well.
Not just that, but also 2 of these stuns that Sophia brings along are going to be gone and no longer allowed to be used, or able to be used, rather. This Buck opening up some extra angles right here. Able to potentially challenge the Astros stairs. Opening up the hatch as well, just in case there is any basement play. I'm not sure, is there anyone up there? No, no one is up there. The complete basement is clear. We have 2 people down on site. Now, if CYCLOPS still recognizes this, they could be going for a quick push from, well, both the kitchen door and maybe Memorial, and they might be picked up as a result of that.
It depends entirely on if these players playing upstairs can rotate fast enough or have the right angles being held on the top floor. So to come down to timer once again is the one thing that I fear. Anderson, though, strikes onto Crazy Papillon. He's straight inside of the site. Forget about opening walls. He says, why don't we just charge in and click on heads? Yura finds a second in this round, mind you, and Gator isn't going for a plant here as they don't have enough control. It's been shut down pretty early. Oh, there we go. An easy spray through coming out of JJ. Down goes Gator. 4 versus 2. And this should be another round for Guts.
That's a big mistake right there, going for that breaching charge. In that moment in time, when you have site control, you're not going to be trying to put down breaching rounds if you know everybody's still upstairs. And it's yet again all up to Black Ray now. He's in a 1-on-4 situation. 50 seconds, though, is a lot of time for him to work with. If he's going to be able to force himself into 4 1v1s, it might be winnable. Even though not a single member of Guts Gaming, except for Chris Papillon, of course, took that damage. It's going to get spotted out. It won't matter too much. Rotating all the way outside, most likely we'll be going for a bit of a technical break. Not technical, but strategical break.
Technical break.
Using the
technical pause here.
Technical pause. No. Strategical
My gun
pause.
is jammed.
Need to clean it for the next round.
I mean, he did this in the last round, just kind of wasted a bit of time, and he seems to be going for the same focus again. I imagine for the team it's the discussion point here, because they know in these rounds what's going wrong, and they know, look, let's talk about this. Make sure in the next round we come into this one and hit it hard. Admittedly, you're not going to be able to stop Yura being at a window and spraying you down as you try and push into the building, but a big round from him. 3 kills will give Guts their 3rd round. 5-3, and CYCLOPS probably thought they were very in the clear after that first half, but Guts, that rampaging bull's not far away, dudes. It's over the horizon. It's a whole herd coming for you. And I get fearful. If this goes to 5-4, CYCLOPS may well end up just losing this map, I think.
That might indeed be the case. CYCLOPS really needs to step it up now. They need to get at least 1 round in. And, well, we go to trophy stat tree, so there is an opportunity to take it home here. And I'm not sure what they picked to go on for the overtime, but it could just as well be defense. But I'm not too sure.
Well, at this point in the last series, after seeing teams pick to start an attack on both maps, even Oregon, where it was so heavily defender-leaning, I don't know anymore, Hat.
Because Guts chose to start on defense here. No, CYCLOPS chose to start on defense here. So
yes,
Guts gets the choose for.
There you go. Guts overtime defense. The voice of God, or medics as we call him.
The voice of God has spoken, and that means that Guts, if they manage to bring it to overtime, have a big fight.
Oh, look what I'm excited by. It's 2 frags. But it's the Finker and what she can do. We spoke to Xavier about this in the week. I had a chat with Onigiri and asked him, you know, why the Finker? What's the big obsession with it here in APAC? And he said to me, it's more that Bunker Buster-esque style. You get that plus 20 HP boost up, you get the lower ADS time. If you're walking into anything like an Ella, then guess what? She's not going to be able to hit you so much. And we saw in the replay package for them earlier on, often when coming into a 1 versus 1, they'd still pull the trigger. Just saying, you know, 120 HP versus 100, we're pretty confident we can win that engagement. So it isn't always for big team executes. Sometimes it can just be for duels or for skirmishes.
Definitely so. That's also the extra 2 grenades that you will be able to bring along. Would be helpful. I like the Maestro, the Evil Eye that was actually placed in Master Bedroom. Right on the edge of the hatch, able to look inside, potentially even not sure if he can get the angle, but able to take down a hard breach onto that wall.
Look inside, see what you might find. Bad dude's probably going to be the answer. Other double electrification coming out as well, by the way. Yura and JJ.
Oh, okay. That's going to be
and guess what?
No Thatcher.
There's no Thatcher.
I mean, what's a Thatcher nowadays, right? I mean, it's just...
What is a Thatcher? No one knows. It's been
like
banned.
The easy mode on Rainbow Six Siege.
The easy mode. Last time we just big brain, mate. 2 years ago, they were banning Thatcher away. 60% ban rate, I think it was, in Season 9. Yeah. Now the whole world's doing it.
Well, it's not banned, but it's just not being played. Similar thing, though. No Thatcher on the board. Grenade will be taking care of some of the... the breach denial devices that were there, as in the Electroclaw, meaning that an Excaris will pop and create a little bit of an opening.
Just a teeny tiny little bit.
Teeny tiny.
The focus still comes down to a pulse, and you see again why there's a big focus on it in APAC. Yes, playing behind only the 3 C4s again, but 3 can be enough sometimes, as it has been in previous rounds. Admittedly, Yura said, C4s, Shmi4s, no one needs those. Was more than happy to find 3 kills for his team with the gun alone. You see the focus is coming in here. They've hit the button on that Finker. The grenades are coming out here. Going to connect onto JJ, but not enough to bring him down. The spray comes through. The kite is low. He's laid down. The spray comes out, but it's a trade. It's Crazy Papillon. Strikes black. Strikes black? He does strike black. Black against Black Ray. Brings him down as well. It's a 5 versus 3, but 1 is down here. JJ is pretty much out of action, and I don't expect with how hot the kill zone is, there'll be anyone trying to go for a res anytime soon.
You're not going to be able to get across for sure, but Lions is going to be able to take down Aniton, so they might be able to save his KD anyway. If another one comes in, Lily able to pick up on and gets the second as well. Flawless round from Guts Gaming. And we are heading closer and closer towards the moment where Guts Gaming is going to be tying things up yet again. If that's going to be happening, Cyclops, they will have to look back at what just happened twice.
It's interesting how this being the map choice coming out for Guts, you sit here and think, oh, they're a team who can defend this, they're a team who can attack it, why wouldn't they be able to? They chose to come here, and in the first half, they looked like a stranger to this map, like they have never walked the halls of Villa before, and Cyclops are the ones who look like they've been residents for a long time, but here, once it switched over, as we said a couple of times, 2 halves to a game of Siege. Right now, it feels like it's Cyclops are the ones who need to wake up and remind themselves there is a game to be won, as they have barely found a kill in this second half. I think it's only been 3 or 4 on the board in the last 4 rounds.
It's definitely not going well for them, and that flawless round kind of shows the picture, completes it. Guts Gaming on the rise again. The Cyclops, they had a very convincing first half, and then we said it, there's always 2 halves to a game of Siege. It's not over yet. Make sure you're ready for the next one, as Guts Gaming is definitely seeming ready, and Cyclops struggling.
And Coastline will be the next map we go to as well. A bit more around the gunfights, and we've seen how it's kind of traded up between both teams so far. I'd give a slight lean probably over to the side of Guts, given how the second half has played out. But we all know that Coastline here in APAC has only got a 32% win rate on sites for the defenders. It is very, very attacker leaning. So aren't you viewers lucky? You get to see a real disparity here between Villa and Coastline and get to witness the full breadth of enjoyment that APAC has to offer you. But first, we've got to finish off on Villa. Aviator and Games, where we're going to head in round number 10. And Guts Gaming on the defense once more. Cyclops have got to change the game plan here. It has not worked for 4 rounds. They haven't yet struck lucky, and dare I say lucky, more like struck gold. Probably the better way of putting it in round number 2 like Guts did when they won, despite having their plan to C4 out with only 4 seconds left on the clock. So luck of the Irish needs to be on side of Cyclops here if they're going to find anything in this fixture.
Now you can look back in that round, potentially being the difference between Guts Gaming maybe winning if they continue their current streak, or Cyclops able to pull it out in the end, because a 6-0 would have definitely been different mental-wise than a 5-1, because a 5-1 still allows you for some mental well, mental breathing space and some mistakes to be made in your game plan as well. CYCLOPS is losing more and more of these opportunities to make these mistakes. And that means that Guts Gaming definitely coming back. I'm not sure if that is going to be a proper breach. No, it's not. There's a little bit of an angle. Indeed, they missed it. They messed it up.
They tried the impact trip more than anything else, though, and that's what struck the ceiling, I think, too close on the defender side and didn't kill the higher of those sets of X-Kyro. So that's why you've now got this lovely kind of crouch height wall that looks all the way through a hole, I should say. It makes it a bit risky, but maybe Crazy Papillon here is thinking, you know what, I could test that. I could shoot back through. I don't care if they're coming into me from that. Maybe it's down to Light playing inside a Vault. But right now, nothing really being forced out of the side of Guts. They're in a spot where they can hold firm. No shields have been destroyed. And that utility going to be a big focus halfway into the round. Need to see a bit more pace coming out of CYCLOPS.
Definitely need to see that more pace, but it's basically the story that we've had throughout this half so far. I like this shield here. However, normally it's being followed up with the opening of the study wall to allow you to actually try and contest that. Not the case this time. It's Crazy Papillon joining in 90 there, Lily as well.
Study and 90 control.
Yeah, and, like they have all control right here, and CYCLOPS, they try to open up on the side right now, but no one is actually playing on the side. And with 60 seconds left, you really need to get yourself an opening right here. And they might be animated to try and go for that. The breaching round will go in just to take care of the barbed wire. Here comes the prone peak to come through, but it's not going to be enough yet. And Blackray just trying to chase down into Crazy Papillon with that skeleton key, and it just keeps on. They keep on not, like, they try to get these gunfights in, but they won't be able to find an entry yet.
They got slaughtered here last time trying to push up the south stairs as well, and it's Yura on the rotate. They have no idea. Finds Anaton, that's the opening kill for them, and suddenly Yura's in a spot where he can rotate back up towards red and look to cause even more damage once he gets back on site. All the pressure sits on the side of CYCLOPS here. 20 seconds to go. They've lost another man here. It's falling apart at the seams for them. A 5 versus 2, 15 seconds on the clock. We all know how these rounds tend to end.
Oh, might be able to get one kill, at least a down for Suzu, but it's not going to be enough. 4-2, Aegator confirms one, gets a second one, and suddenly they're inside, but he's not going to be able to crawl through, and that means the plant might not come down. Aegator actually managed to find himself right behind the bar, gets that planted down. It's a 1-on-2 situation, Des.
No
They confirm
way.
the kill. They might be able to do it. The C4 will rain over. It's not going to be able to. Oh, he gets it down onto Aegator, but he doesn't know that. He will not be aware. He thinks it's a 1-on-2 situation, and Suzu is slowly rotating around because he knows there's that one little opening right there in the wall that they weren't able to use properly before. They might be coming in to actually save him that round. Aegator gets confirmed. Yura now needs to go in for the defuse, but he has no clue where he's from. Oh, he's long-arming it from the top of the desk. He's now jumping in safety, hopefully. 4 seconds. 3 seconds.
Please.
He can't see him! No, he can't see him! And Gaming will win it! Somehow! They did not see him! And the round is won. You're able to stick it. You should have moved in way earlier right there. At least make a noise. Try to fight it. But Guts will be given the round. Gifted by CYCLOPS. 5-5. Des, we're equal now. And that should have been that goal that they had to struck to have that one off.
We said at the start that Paris have been kind to us. I've decided it is cruel. It is so cruel. Those are the kind of rounds that I was talking about. The strokes of gold that you need as a team sometimes to pull you through a half. And that was the opportunity for CYCLOPS. And they can't complete the 2 versus 1 to get the plant down because it was a heroic comeback. But all props over to the side of Guts. They put themselves in such a commanding position here. They've got 2 more defensive rounds to go. And after how this has gone so far, this is done. The way I see it, it is done. Guts can no way lose this.
Guts should have this confirmed indeed, as they will be going back downstairs into kitchen dining.
God damn, they are kicking themselves for that.
They will be kicking themselves. I mean, we're kicking ourselves.
I'm kicking myself as well. Jesus.
Should not have lost that. It was a 1-on-2. Yes, of course, the C4 got that down, but it wasted a lot of time as well. I think it would have even been better to stay on 90 in that case.
It was just, again, we can't take it away from Guts. That was entirely on them as well. Miraculous comeback towards the bitter end. And Yura nonetheless as well. We spoke about him at the start. Oh, he got a free kill down in Art Studio. It was like, cool, rotate back towards site, where I'll make an impact later on. Did we not know at the time it was going to be Yura being the big impact player, getting a kill, getting the defuse, all in the nick of time. Incredible stuff. 9-6 for him so far. What a game. JJ a little bit quieter so far in the second half. But after he had a pretty prolific start in round number 2. Those are the 2 rounds this team could need to take this map away from CYCLOPS. Into round number 11. Not quite yet at match point, but it is as close as can be. The big issue is Guts are the ones on defense, and we have seen this be so defender-leaning. Only a single attacker round win so far.
2 X-Skyras gone. That's unlucky.
And they've got to... Come on, boys! I'll tell you what this is. It's because they haven't seen Thatcher in so long. They're out of practice.
Now,
they don't know timing and coordination.
Like, oh, you're right. Like, he probably had, they were on a drone, and they're like, he's in mud room, just quickly open it up. So they put 2 X-Skyras on there because there was nothing on there yet. And I mean, you cannot, like, EMP trick. It doesn't take time to activate the Bennett charge. So in that case, it wouldn't have helped. But it is going to be...
It's more the fact there's no drone there to know. Like, surely someone is watching it to make sure that wall gets opened.
Yeah, someone should have been aware of the fact that he is running back indeed, and should maybe went for the detonate before the second shot. Anyway, it is going to be CYCLOPS. They try to put up some extra pace, as we mentioned before. That was highly necessary if they wanted to actually to get around it. Right now, second set of X-Skyras gone. No one will be there, or third set actually. No one will be there to try and counter it off. But Guts Gaming is aware, of course, as well, that this is still upstairs. It's not really what we need. With 90 seconds left, only now they start to take control.
I wonder how valuable those 2 C4s will prove to be. That's what the big focus is for me here, because the focus has gone onto the upstairs. Gatto's going to find the opening kill onto Light, so the C4s are still intact. It was the alibi, playing on the roam, not the end of the world for them, dare I say. But it's more what happens in the latter stages of this round that worries me, because we've seen what C4s can do already. We know that they're still holding on to them now. They've already done a lot of work and wasted so much time. So for CYCLOPS, when time sensitivity is at its highest, that's when those C4s will be getting ripped. And before you know it, people are being blown sky high.
I'm going to be careful of that indeed. Still Lily downstairs in the basement, hoping to go for a flank at some point, being very patient here. As that his teammate got taken down from that same angle. Now just waiting. Black Ray opening up from above. It's going to be CYCLOPS to put up the pace now. 35 seconds left. Suzu just runs in. It's going to be spotted out by the alibi. First
one
kill comes in. Indeed, Black Ray will go down. That is going to be a sledge gone. No more verticality being basically created. It's Crazy Papillon right now. Still with the C4 left, probably waiting for a plant sound to come through. You're able to go for the cover right here. Will instantly be traded out though. However, here you go. They're able to get one, but not the second one onto Lily. That was still playing downstairs. They're going to be moving in. 15 seconds indeed. Flashbangs to be tossed in. Will be forcing Crazy Papillon off this angle, but they have the hot spot from the alibi Prism to come in. Clear will come down somehow. It took a long while. It's going to be the trade to come in, but JJ yet again to respond. Hannerton now needs to move in right here from Memoriam, but it's going to be Lily around the corner. We'll be able to pick him up. Guts Gaming are going to match points right here, and they are turning it all the way around. One more to go. Can CYCLOPS bring this to overtime, where they will have to fight yet again against the defense side of Guts Gaming? Or is Guts going to close it out here?
I don't know. They had their chance, and they threw it away the same way I threw my pen away when it happened. I just couldn't believe it came down to that. And I think the start of this round just a second ago is a great example of what Siege is built on. It's not built on flawless rounds or teams completely steamrolling the other side. It's small moments and small mistakes, things like the lack of a drone, or like in the previous round, not being able to win that 2 versus 1. Those are the things that define games, and there are 2 distinct rounds I can think of, 2 and 10, where Guts won rounds they should not have in the eyes of CYCLOPS, but great lean towards them and great respect to them for being able to pull them the way they have. 6 and 5, not a single defensive round, a single attacking round won by CYCLOPS. This is their final chance to turn that around. Otherwise, it's Guts who put themselves 1-0 up and are 1 map away from making it through to that game against Cloud9 tomorrow.
Definitely so. That's a quick electric claw being deployed right there. Not having to deal with it anymore afterwards. Not sure where it actually landed.
On the underside?
It's somewhere up here, right? It's
on the underside, maybe?
No, it's not on the other side.
I
think it's on the roof. I mean, you cannot see the roof. With this.
Medic's like, God damn it. I've been foiled by the observing system.
Have been tricked.
He's like, right, let's get a POV and see if someone else shows it us. But no one else has, because Lights ran away.
Dying. Anyway, windows being opened up, and many might question why that is, Des, but it's of course with the sound. Yeah, the glass. The glass in the window. Yes. But sound is the reason why. Just get that extra bit of information if someone runs past or repels up.
Well, last time around it was a big vertical hole, vertical hold that came out when they were looking to defend inside a kitchen. As you'd expect on this side, it's going to be a similar story. Everyone playing on the upstairs, one inside a basement. Lily looking to play spoiler later in this round, as we've seen from him a couple of times. On the side of Cyclops, it's all going to come down to what they can do without getting picked off earlier on. They've still got hold of the Thatcher. They've got hold of the Habana. You're dealing with the Bandit and the Kai together in one piece. So looking to try and keep those quiet is going to be the big focus, no doubt. Otherwise, they find themselves losing its Kairos. The angles they want open will not be open for anyone, even if you say please. This focus is going onto this wall. So this time around, they are going to get it open. There's one playing on the window here, making sure no one is holding close.
Soft.
And they will get the angle open.
I think it was a soft... No, it's not.
I think it was, no.
I thought it was soft in that case. I was a bit confused, but it's not. Never mind me. As JJ, we're trying to fall back, putting up some shots, but not hitting any.
Where have we seen this before? JJ and low health playing in the back of kitchen.
Yeah, I mean, they managed to get some kills from that the last time around. It's a bit of a mess right here, a bit of traffic in that one doorway, just all trying to get through, but no one really committing to it. And they want to get this control so badly of kitchen dining. As JJ playing here, I believe with Yura still. There's a Papillon. Able to get a lot of information out. 2 spots on that heartbeat sensor. Surely
C4 over the top is an option, right? They opened it up on top? No, it's soft. Okay, that's curious.
There we go. Now the EMP will come through, and that will allow Hibana to open up, create that angle, push Crazy Papillon out of his position.
Oh, but he's playing for the door. Instead, he wants someone to push him around this corner, and the answer right now is that no one will. Gets hit by a stun, mind you, so he's a little bit dizzy for a few seconds. Still perfectly healthy, mind you, and knows that's where the focus is coming in, because there is a lot of utility singing on through. Iagator gets the opening kill onto Yura, who's been the hero for them. 3 kills in quick succession, and Cyclops may have just found what they needed, but it's a flank out of Lily. We said the late round spoiler from the basement, and that's exactly what he manages to pull off. It's a 4 versus 2. There's 60 seconds left, so Guts... The clock is not their ally, but Lily apparently is. 2 kills for himself with 3 versus 2. It all comes down to this, Hap. We keep saying it, but it comes down to this round. If they can't get their first attacking win, it is done.
It is done indeed, and you got to keep in mind as well, we are playing top floor, so they might have taken control of the bottom floor, but that's not it yet. Aegator is in, and so is Gatorada. They need to go for this plant soon, 30 seconds. Are they going to be going for the kills here or trying to force them into a position? Gatorada's in a good position to try and go for cover. He's going to be peaked, and he's going to be taken down by Light, and that is actually going to be changing things up right here. It could be a Cyclops round. They do have the plant down. They are on a 2-2 after plant, but we saw that this could be lost so easily. Is Goods going to be able to fight back? They do have the verticality. Something to keep in mind right here. Memorial will be opened up. Where are they going to be coming from? Angles being watched.
No C4s, though, is the big thing, because they already lost those earlier on, so it's purely coming down to gunfights, and what a filthy angle being held here. He sees him as well. They have zero idea of where Iagator is. It's a 2 versus 1, and Light has got to contest this angle. He's got 15 seconds. He's not going to bother. He wants the glory. He wants the blood. Pushes round and pre-firing, but Iagator with a huge round. The opening kill and 2 kills in closing will give Cyclops the round they have sought for the last 5 rounds. Overtime, boys and girls. We're in APAC.
We're back in APAC indeed. We're going to OT. Round number 13 on the board. And overtime it is.
Oh boy.
Guts, however, starting on the defense. That is something to keep in mind. Right now, 10 of the rounds have been won by defense, only 2 by attack, Des.
They have. It's... I feel like even though that was a great round for Cyclops, coming into the overtime, knowing how it's played out so far, only 2 attacking round wins, I'm definitely leaning towards the side of Guts. Yep. Guts are the ones who have shown consistently throughout that second half that they can pull this off, and they get the choice of sides. It's a total reset for them. Aviator Game is going to be where we start things off, and interestingly, Trophy and Statuary was the more difficult of all those sites to defend. It's where we saw the most losses. In fact, the only 2 losses.
We have to say, though, that the last 2 rounds Guts played, they looked weaker compared to the first 4 defensive rounds, because we saw that one plant into behind the bar. They almost managed to go towards the side of Cyclops, and then we actually saw the round win afterwards coming in from Cyclops. So they might be in the zone right now. They might be able to actually push this through because they got really close one. They won at the round after, and they might be able to fix the mistakes right here in AVG and get their round in as well.
I've got to give a lot over to Lily, by the way, because I know at the start of the day I was saying, you know, he's been 1-13 in the regular split. He hasn't looked great. His entry record is poor. That's 1-13 on entry, by the way, not on KD. Don't worry, he hasn't had that bad a season. But in this game, it hasn't been about the entry for him. It's been all about the late round frags. He's been the one who's coming on these late round roams, coming up the backside and shutting Cyclops down before they can even look to push in towards the site. And that is what you want. Impact players, those that aren't always there at the start, but the ones who come up big for you in the dying seconds. Yura and Lily have both been huge to that effect today.
Back very quickly.
This is fast, Jesus.
Making pace indeed. Moving up the Astro stairs already. Drone is going to be following him, but he's not aware of the fact that someone is on his left, but he will be able to get the kill onto the mirror. No, he's not. He's missing the kill. Will eventually get it though. Turns around, gets up on the skeleton key. Is going to be able to use his anti-personal? No, he drops down the hatch. Thank you, defenders, for opening that up, and that allows the assassin to sneak out yet again.
It's enough to find that at pace as well, because Crazy at first didn't seem to have much of an idea, and then the call must have come in and been droned out. Something's going on here. We need to react. Unfortunately, not able to react quite in time, and Lily's doing just Lily things. Jumping between rooms, waiting for the late round strike. And I've got to say, if it's working for you, why change it? It's all about this north take that they're trying to put the focus on right now. They know that Mirror window is now more exposed, given that Mirror is no longer there. And I think Black Ray, being in the spot that he's in, can play from downstairs if he wants to. He can use that skeleton key to open up the floor below, remove the Mirror window, and suddenly it ain't no worries inside of the site anymore.
Definitely not. The only worry they have is probably Lily playing in this flank position. They're not aware of it as he dropped down, and as Medic says, there is no mirror window, so possibly had one left in pocket when he died, and if that's the case, that is a very bad thing. Black Ray will be taken down by Lily. He will be taken out, the assassin.
You think they'd learn? After 6 rounds of Lily roaming on them, you'd drone him.
You would expect they knew where he is, but not the case here. Evil Eye not being taken out. Annington, they're trying to cut through sight. You can see it. They're setting up 1 on landing, 2 coming down in study, and the X-Carriers are being deployed.
The question is, what can they set up for here? They've got north control of Aviator. They've got south control window in study itself. So it seems to be that Aviator is going to be their point of ingress where the focus goes in. Understandably so, because Euro, the hero of the moment, is still holding near the wall. Will not have any bandit batteries on side to deal with that, but they have allies in their teammates to be able to get rid of those X-Kairos. It is ridiculous how many times this has happened today.
How was the Evil Eye still up in that case? But Lily yet again with another kill is going to be taken down, however, by Annington, who moves in. Now knows that he might be able to take 90 control, but has to be careful for the angle that Yura's holding. He's close still to the corner of that wall, so he might rather rotate all the way around, take the 90 control, move in from the door. JJ still top of main stairs, light inside of the vault. They have all the information, they have all the points that they need on the likes of Guts Gaming, and Annington needs to move in here. Yura gave away his position though, and that is going to be definitely helpful as he rotates around. So they might be able to actually go in for a flank. Flashbangs to come in. We'll be going into the secondary planting position, but maybe even more the main planting position, as it turns out to become the, well, preferred side more and more. As it will go down, smoke canisters now will be used. Gator onto the cover. JJ will just be running past right here. Might be able to actually get the kill onto Annington. Yes, he will. No cover there. And we find ourselves in a 2-on-2 situation. All Suzu has to do is move in from landing, get the kill, or someone goes onto that defuse. One still in the window, gets that first kill, and suddenly it's the sandwich right now. Yura finds himself in. Cyclops seem to be back indeed. Gator gets that last one, and they continue the momentum. They build up over those last 2 rounds in that second half.
That is a huge round for Cyclops, because now they go into their defensive overtime round having won the first. It is going to take a real show from Guts, because as well as that second half went for them, and it was down to the wire in round number 12 that Cyclops managed to finally get their attacking round win. In that first half, I said it at the time, they were some of the most decisive defenses I've seen on this map coming out of Cyclops. We're going to go to Aviator Games, unsurprisingly, to kick things off. It's where they started it. It's where they finished things in round number 4 before closing things out in dining in decisive fashion. And looking at the kills, it's all down to Gator here. All down to him, and whether or not he can find a good couple of kills for his team at the start to pull things through. No doubt Yura going to be the guy, as we mentioned before, the hero on the entry, if he can find a few opening kills for his team to give Guts the numbers advantage early on.
Still missing out on some of the players though, and the likes of Guts Gaming, Crazy Puppy and Light currently not coming further than the 3 kills. And we have 3 people on the double digits, so if they might be able to balance it out just a little bit more, we might actually see them fight back right here on this attack round, because they need to win it now as well. They do not have another option, because if they lose this, it's Cyclops to walk away with the victory.
Looks like a cat that's out of lives. Yep, absolutely the final chance they've got to do something. One thing they have been pretty good at is holding onto these south stairs. I think both teams did this really well on this site. Was no matter how many members were trying to push up from below, whenever they tried to push up the brown stairs, they just found themselves getting tagged out very comfortably by the smoke that was often holding that position. And so the teams have constantly just battered each other away when they're on the defense, saying, you want to get control of this area of the map? Good luck. It's quite simply not happening. So something has got to change here for Guts. We've got to see some kind of flex of creativity, because more of the same, I fear, is just going to put them in the dirt.
Like we were seeing here from Cyclops again, the same setup as we've seen before. However, this time there's more so focus towards the study side of things. The entirety of Guts Gaming is looking to go here, except for Lily though. And then the reinforcement just comes
late
in.
one.
No, they opened it up just in case they would not put the pressure down there. Now they put the pressure down there, they reinforce it, and they're basically going to be wasting a lot of time because now everybody's up on this side and they're not going to be able to do anything with what just was given to them. So it might just be a bait for the drones.
Is anyone playing on the roam? I think the answer is no. 2 on the south stairs, 2 on site, well 3 on sites in total, with the Clash holding Aviator by herself. Guts going for a very one-dimensional attack. This came back to bite them so many times in the first half, as we saw a massive scrap around Aviator with the Clash in place and a couple of smoke grenades coming through. The big difference here is there are no smokes. There is no safety. Behind a lack of visibility here for the boys on Guts, it's going to come down to winning some gunfights. And look at those grenades. The indicators go crazy on the screen. But Suzu, not flashed out, returns back to holding behind the shield, holding firm in the face of strong adversity here. Guts, with 1 minute 45, are looking to get themselves inside a study.
There's no more flashbangs left. The shield has been taken down by one of the breach rounds or impacts. Right now, they will be trying to push through. Clash, however, moving in, will be stunned down, but Anaton able to use that table right there to his advantage as he moves in to try and go aggressive. And there we see Black Ray crossing, able to pick up a double kill.
No.
2 more of Guts Gaming will be coming in. Black Ray still on the top of these round stairs right here. Yura tries to get it. A triple kill to come in before he's finally shut down. And right now, Light on the chase right here, hoping to take down this Clash. But this is a suicide mission as it gets taken down. It's all up to JJ now in a 1-on-4 to try and secure yourself into this round. Are you going to be able to survive right here, or are you going to fall? There is no tactical timeout right now to try and talk about the next round, because this is the last round, JJ. You need to go. You need to get these kills. He is being bullied by the Clash. The smokes now come out as well. 45 seconds left in the clock, and there's still so much utility left on the likes of Cyclops. A shield right there to protect him. If JJ moves in, he will be spotted. 5 HP right now, trying to return fire, but he will be taken out shortly, as he still manages to survive somehow.
Just zap him, please.
Just zap him once and it's all over. There we go. The zap comes in. Anaton gets the final kill. And it's Cyclops, even though they almost threw it away after that 5-1 first half, to take it home.
Oh, Cyclops just say, hey guys, remember last time? Remember that 8-6? How does it feel? A best of 3 is going to be needed on Villa between these boys at some point in stage 2, but Cyclops, wow, unbelievable on defense. A little bit shaky on the attack, kind of to be expected on this map. And a couple of strokes of luck coming out for Guts in the earlier rounds did at least pull them through. But given this is a best